Hello, everybody. I'm Carlos Woolley. I could tell you a lot about Salt's Mill, but they've only given me a few minutes, so I'd like to focus on two of the company's mills that are not in Saltaire. I'm told that these days many people have forgotten all about the mills in Ireland and Scotland. My story starts in 1937 when I was an overlooker in the spinning department at Salt's Mill. The company asked me to go over to Tullamore in the Republic of Ireland, where they were setting up a spinning mill. Tullamore was just a small market town, and I'll spell it out for you so that you can look it up on the map if you want to. It's Tullamore. As I say, just a small market town, halfway between Dublin and Galway. Salt's managing director, Robert White Guild, led this project. He decided on Tullamore after making a short list of suitable towns. The company saw the Republic as a place from which they could profit. Salt's Ireland Limited, the new Irish company, was established in 1937, and it would benefit from trade tariffs. The mill would focus on spinning worsted yarns, both weaving and hosiery, supplying half of the yarn required by the Free State. Mr. Guild interviewed the town council and satisfied himself that the new mill's site, the old jail, which had largely been destroyed in 1922 during the Civil War, he wanted to satisfy himself that this old jail was suitable. Salt's Tullamore spinning mill was completed in 1938, and in the early days, several new employees were sent to Saltaire for training. And I was one of the experienced and I like to think trusted Saltaire employees who went in the other direction. At its height, Salt's Tullamore Yarns employed around 300 people. It was to be the largest local employer for more than 30 years. In 1946, soon after the war, the company asked me to take on a similar but much more demanding task, this time in Scotland. More demanding because I was asked to set up a brand new factory and to take my young family with me up to Uddingston, which was just 10 miles southeast of Glasgow. And I'd better spell that name for you because if you're going to look it up on a map, you need to know what it is. It's Uddingston, and as I say, it's just about 10 miles southeast of Glasgow. So Uddingston was an old mining town with a large pool of female labour. The only other employer of any size was Tunnock's of caramel wafer fame. The factory was a new single-storey building on the site of a former coal pit. It was ideal for modern machinery, but Salts filled it with old spinning and weaving machinery. Key workers were recruited from the parent mill in Saltaire. These included me, of course, but also George Mason and his two sons, Eric and Donald. The Masons and the Woolleys became close friends as a result of this move up to Uddingston. Weaving overlookers were recruited from the Scottish borders. Some machine operatives were sent to Saltaire for training, but some did not want to go to the salt mine in Yorkshire. 2 lorries a week brought the raw materials to Uddingston and returned the woven pieces to Saltaire for further processing. Oh, excuse me. In the early days, accommodation was a problem for key workers. So, on land purchased from Scottish mines, Salts built semi-detached houses for the weaving and spinning managers and two-storey flats for overlookers. Today, Uddingston still boasts its own Saltaire Avenue. But these properties were not where the Woolley family lived. Oh no. As a senior manager, or as the senior manager, my family lived the life in a very desirable crescent called Douglas Gardens. The family returned to Saltaire, but this was not to be the end of the Woolley link to Uddingston. My son Brian joined the Salts Empire in '58, and in 1960, after 2 years training on all aspects of textile production, he returned to Uddingston to run the pattern making department and did so until the factory's closure in 1963. Returning to Saltaire, he worked in quality control until Salt's mill closed. I hope you found that interesting. All the best.